Hello again. I'm back for another quick video. And the title of this video today is When You've Had Enough. We all have that feeling of having enough. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you a story. Two scenarios. There was a woman who went by a shop and she saw this beautiful pair of shoes that she absolutely fell in love with them. She got the shoes, and every time she wore those shoes, she felt beautiful, she felt empowered, she felt like she can take on the world. And it worked really well for her. As the years went by, she noticed that the shoes that she absolutely loved began to hurt her feet. She started getting bunions on her toes. Her feet actually started to become disformed from these shoes. But she loved the shoes. I mean, they were her favorite pair of shoes. And she remembered all the times she wore the shoes and all the events she wore the shoes and how they made her feel. But now, these shoes was causing her pain and discomfort. But she wasn't willing to get rid of the shoes. I mean, these shoes had become a symbolism to her of confidence and beauty and self-esteem. Okay. So, what to do about the pain? But the pain got to the point it was really excruciating. I mean, to the point one day she went out and tears were rolling down her eyes because she was wearing these shoes. And far from being confident, she looked very sorrowful, you know. But she was unwilling to get rid of these shoes. But one day she came up with a brilliant idea. She decided, well, okay, obviously I have outgrown the shoes and my feet has changed, so what can I do? So she cut the tops of the shoes off so that she had more room for her feet, you know, to have more room for her feet. So her toes was out and exposed. And that worked for like a minute, you know. She refurbished her shoes to fit her feet because she loved these shoes. Then, of course, one day it came to the point where she started to trip over. She started falling every time she wore the shoes because her toes were hanging out over the shoes because she had outgrown the shoes. One particular day, she was walking across the street and she fell flat on her face. And she got so mad and so angry, she got up, took off the shoes, said, I had enough of this, and she threw them across the street. The other story. There was a man who had a suit. He got the suit. When he got the suit, it made him feel really good. It was his first suit. The first suit he ever spent good money on. And he looked handsome in the suit. And like the woman, when he put the suit on, you couldn't tell him nothing. Oh, he was the man in this suit. This suit became his lucky suit. And anytime he needed that extra boost, he used to put his suit on. And that worked really well for him. But after a while, as he began to grow and develop within himself, as his shoulders began to get wider, his legs became wider from muscle tone, and as he actually physically grew taller, the suit became uncomfortable. He didn't feel comfortable in the suit anymore, but it was his favorite suit. So he decided, well, maybe if he alter his style a bit, he started to wear really kind of flashy socks, to kind of camouflage the fact that the length of his pants were like 3 inches too short. But the socks, the fancy socks. And at that time, people was like, wow, look at those socks. And he was like, yeah, I'm changing my style. And, yeah, changing it up a bit, I mean, I'm looking cool, I'm looking fresh. Still got the same suit on, but he added the fancy socks. And then what he started to do then, when he couldn't, his arms, because they had developed and got muscular, he couldn't fit into the sleeves. So he cut them off. He took his jacket to a tailor, he cut off the sleeves, had her rework the shoulder line. So then he started to wear what was his jacket, as a vest. So now he had a vest on and he had his fancy socks, but, he revamped his favorite suit. And that worked well for a minute or two. But then one day, he was at work. And at work, his phone fell. And he bent down to get his phone and ripped the ass out of his pants. Well, everyone just stood around and laughed at him. He was so embarrassed and so angry. He marched out the door, went home, ripped off the suit and threw it into the rubbish and said, I've had enough. I'm buying myself a new suit. Now, to you, that might sound like ridiculous stories. But is it really? How often do we hold on to things that we have outgrown and no longer suit us and the person we have become and developed because we have formed an attachment to it? Now that we have loads of reasons. The attachment could be we think we need it. We think that this person or thing or job or situation or home or whatever it could be is the source of our development. It is the source of our sense of happiness, comfort, wealth, well-being, whatever it is. And because we have gotten so much benefit from it, to throw it away seems like sacrilege, because that's showing that we're not grateful and appreciative of what we have and all the benefits that it has given us. I have struggled with that in my life. Not, and most of it wasn't even a conscious thing until I got to the point where I've had enough, But when you get to the point where you've had enough, that you literally walk away from it or dramatically change it, rising up like Popeye the Sailor Man, swinging because he's had enough. You've gotten loads of signs way before that point. It really takes being self-aware and not looking at it in a negative light, but in a positive light. When you get to the point where something is not comfortable to you anymore, it doesn't feel natural, it means that you have become more than you were before. That's all it means. And it's time for you to move on to the next thing. We grow out of our shoes. We grow out of our clothes. We grow out of our jobs. We grow out of our occupations. We grow out of our interests. We grow out of everything. Everything that grows It's going to grow out of whatever stage it was before. And we can still feel appreciation and gratitude for what we have experienced and all that it has given us and helped to develop in us, and still let it go and move on. So if you feel like you've had enough, whatever that enough is, it's okay. Allow yourself to let it go and say thank you. You served me well. But now it's time for me to move on to the next thing. So that's all I have to say about having enough. Feeling like you've had enough. Okay. So anyway, so that's the video today. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.